Good morning, class. This is the business studies class, and we continue with the final accounts of a trader. Last week, we looked at the preliminary aspects of the final accounts of a trader, where we discussed the trading profit and loss account. But today, we are moving on to the balance sheet. We have these notes in our notebooks, and that is why I'm now writing an extensive note for you on the board. I'm just briefly going to run through what a balance sheet is before we solve a question on the balance sheet. What is a balance sheet? A balance sheet is a statement of assets, liabilities, and capital of a trader at a given period of time, usually at the end of a financial year. I repeat, the balance sheet is a statement of assets, liabilities, and capital of a trader, usually at the end of a financial year. Now, there are two peculiar differences between the balance sheet and the trading profit and loss account. The first one is that the balance sheet is not an account, while the trading profit and loss account, as the name is, as it is called, as it is mentioned, it is an account. It has two sides, the debit and the credit side. But with the balance sheet, it is not an account. It is a statement of assets and liabilities. It shows the financial position, what a business is worth at the end of a financial year. Therefore, the balance sheet is a statement of assets and liabilities, while the trading profit and loss account is an account. Then the second one, or the second peculiar difference between the two, is that while the format of the trading profit and loss account is for the year, which means every activity of the trader for a whole year is recognized in the trading profit and loss account. With the balance sheet, it is the statement, the worth, the value of the business as at a particular date. I hope you got that. I repeat, the trading profit and loss account covers the activities, the interactions of the businessman during the course of a whole year, from the first day in January to the last day in December for a whole year. The balance sheet looks at the worth, the value of the business as at a particular date, usually the 31st day of the month in the year. Now, what I mean is this: if you look at the format of a trading profit and loss account, like you have it already in your notes, we have the name of the business, the book of accounts being prepared, which is the trading profit and loss account, and we write for the year ended 31st December 2006, for instance. With a balance sheet, the name of the business, the book or the statement being prepared, balance sheet in this case, and we have the date written as at the year ended 31st December 1996. Now, there are two known formats used in preparing the balance sheet. These are: one, the conventional format, also known as the T format, just like you have it in your trading profit and loss account. And two, we have the vertical format, which is equally known as the statement format. But for the purpose of this lesson, we shall only discuss the conventional, which is the T format. We're going to look at the example we solved last week of Ajayi. You know, last week, we used this trial balance to solve for the trading profit and loss account of Ajayi. But today, we shall continue from where we stopped by solving for the balance sheet of Ajayi as at the year ended 31st December 1996. Remember, the topic remains the final account of a trader. The final account of a trader, which includes the trading profit and loss account and, of course, the balance sheet. It is a continuous process. We solved the trading profit and loss account last week, and we obtained the net profit. That was where that account ended last week, net profit. Now go back to your book. Help me extract the figure of net profit. Now, the figure of the net profit we got last week is 1,361 naira. But before we go to solving the question, let us quickly look at what the format of a balance sheet really looks like. Just like every record, every book of accounts to be prepared, it must always start with a heading. And that's why I put it there, note. Remember to always start with the heading. And what is the heading? It includes the name of the business on the first line, preferably in capital letters, in block letters. 2, the book or record to be prepared. And 3, the date or period of time the account, the book, or that record represents. Look at our conventional format of a balance sheet. Let's look at the balance sheet of Chief Mango Nigeria Limited. Balance sheet as at the year ended 31st December 2018. Now remember the two peculiar differences I told you that exist between the balance sheet and the trading profit and loss account. I told you that the balance sheet is not an account, which means you must not indicate debit and credit on the format. You must not indicate debit and credit because it is not an account. It is a statement of assets and liabilities of a business as at a particular period of time. And the second peculiar difference I talked about is that the balance sheet is prepared as at a particular date, as at the year ended 31st December 2018, which means the date for the balance sheet goes down as at the year ended 31st December 2018, while the date for the trading profit and loss account, if you check your note, is for the year ended. You must pay attention to these two details. They are very, very, very important. Good, I continue. Now, on the right hand side of our balance sheet, where we have our assets arranged, on the right side of our balance sheet, where we have the assets arranged, they are arranged in order of importance, in order of magnitude. I'll start with the fixed assets before we look at the current assets. Even the fixed assets, we start with the asset that is most fixed of all the fixed assets, which is usually the freehold premises, which sometimes is called the land and building. But in a question, you could be given a figure or a value for freehold premises, and at the same time, you are given a figure or value for land and building, and that is why I included the two in the format. So we have the format outlined. On the right hand side, you have the assets, fixed assets first, freehold premises. On the second naira sign, land and building on the second naira sign, all the fixed assets on the second naira sign.